Hello everyone, it's Jean from the Inky Studio. Welcome. This is going to be part 2 in a series of how I'm altering this old book, and I'll link down part 1. And it's a process video series where I'm kind of showing you what I go through to create this, and maybe along the way just talk about my reason why I'm doing different things or whatever. Kind of giving you a bird's eye view what goes on in my mind when I start doing my projects. So anyways, the last time we were together, we did this cover here, and it's very pretty. You might put the gold gilding wax around it, and yes, I thought it turned out very nice, and I was going to put it here on the cover as being the cover for this. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a journal that has some of the plants that Shakespeare mentioned in this plays, and there's like, it's almost 200, I think, or over 160 plants he mentions 200 times, something like that. I read someplace it's quite a few, and so I wanted to kind of make it a botanical in that venue because it's the natural history of Shakespeare. So that was my way of going about it, and in the inspiration video I put down below, and that is from Angela on the Graphics Fairy YouTube. And I don't think she has a YouTube. I think she's just on Instagram. But I was very inspired by the way she altered a book, and that's what got me started on this way. But when I came here and I got this done and I looked at it, I felt suddenly I couldn't move forward. And I tried to understand what was it about this cover. It's a pretty cover, but what is it that's not allowing me to go forward? And I think that what was going on in my mind, I wanted a little bit more of a haphazard, shabby, grungy look. And when I look at this cover, it was like making me think that I wanted to go in a little bit more formal, traditional way. And it just was working against my vision and kind of what this was. So I'm scrapping this, not entirely, but I'm scrapping it for the most part. I'm going to save it because it is very pretty, and I think maybe eventually I will use it on something. But I'm only going to use part of this. And so what I did was I reprinted it smaller, and I cut out, of course, that middle portion there. I thought that is sufficient enough to read it, nicely, and it doesn't overpower the cover. And then for the background, I made a digital of this thyme plant. And I said, oh, this is where I want to go with it. And I loved it. I thought, oh, this is beautiful. It's got the reddish pink that kind of goes with the green. And oh, I just really love that. And I'm going to put this right there in the middle somewhere. Somewhere inside there. So I'll have to figure out exactly where I'm going to be putting it. Probably like that. Yeah, probably like that. So I just love this. So now I felt like this is the direction I wanted to go in. So you can let me know if you like this better than you do the other one, or if you like them both the same maybe. But to me, then I was ready to pull my papers. Before that, I just couldn't get started on pulling the papers because I didn't feel the cover was kind of jiving or just really making me go in the direction I wanted to go. So this is going to be the cover. I still do like this inside. I'm still good with that. So all right, so that's the change I made up in there. So now let's talk about the papers. Of course, what I'm going to be putting in there, of course, tea stain paper. It's plain now. I might do something with it. Might stencil something on there. I don't know. This is packaging paper that I crinkled up even further, and then I put a little bit of ink in it. Went over with a sponge and just sort of like caught some of the bumps in it, and so it kind of aged it a little bit. I've got this I'm going to use somehow. Of course, I have a lot of old original papers in here from antiques and from vintage sources. So this is one from 1900. It's a ledger paper. And so I'm going to, of course, be putting one of some paper of that in there. I have some an old music book. I believe it was 1930s. And this has the Elfin Dance. So we're going to think about Midsummer Night's Dream, and we're going to think about Puck playing on his flute. And so that's going to be going in there. I have some of this ledger paper, or this graph paper that I tea stain. I'm going to incorporate this. This is parchment paper, and I did a print, and this is from the Graphics Fairy. So I thought this was very, I don't know, just looked about right with all this really pretty floral around it, and I liked that. And this is also from the Graphics Fairy, this printout, and I printed on tea stain paper. Okay, and because we're going to do herbs and flowers, or plants, you know, whatever plants I can think of. Here's some more of that packing paper. It's a different kind of weight. I put washi tape so that the center will hold well. Not sure which one I'm going to use, but there's that. Here's some more grungy paper that I have done. I think this is some of this paper we did in a video not long ago where I took, I grunged up papers with ink sprays. So we have, I love that, sort of that red, that's going to look nice in there. I printed out this from the Graphics Fairy as well. It is French handwriting, and my ink in the paper got kind of crumpled in my inkjet printer, but I'm going to go ahead and use it anyways. I think that kind of adds to it. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. And so those are kind of the papers, and then of course I'm going to be using other book papers, and this is from Edith Holden, and it's a Shakespeare quote. I'm so excited. And then we got the violets down here, so that's really awesome. She has other Shakespeare quotes in there, but they just weren't in the right place, and they didn't always have the right graphics, and sometimes there was a graphic on this side I liked better than this. Oh well, whatever. But I got this one here. That'll be exciting. And this is from Gardening Book. I thought this this portion here would make really cool pockets, or maybe journaling cards or something. Kind of liked that. I also have two super old books. So this one is 1937 is the publishing date on that. And somebody has already gone through and see the pages were like this, where you have a set of flowers. And somebody went through and cut a whole bunch of them out. And I imagine they were going to make bookmarks with them or something. I don't know what they were going to do. But I'm going to be using this. I like it. I think it's has the look that I'm going for here. And so I'll pick out some Shakespearean mentioned flowers from here, the daisy or something. So that'll be fun. I'm pull from this book. This is in my hoard. I haven't used it a lot, but I'm getting out some of my books that I've been hoarding. And this is one here. I really like this one, and I use it sparingly as well. And this is, I think it's in the 50s this was published. But it's just beautiful sketches in here. And she talks about drawing flowers, but just beautiful pencil sketches. So I'm going to be using, see, this book is sewn in. That's kind of an interesting thing. This book was sewn. It was not glued or anything. So I am going to have to get in here. I might as well do it now because I know the page I want to use. And that is, oops, that is the one behind it. This is the page I want to use because it has the marigold, and it also has the daffodil and the cosmos. So these here, all these flowers are mentioned, so I'm going to be using this page in the book. Of course, there's also the rose. What's on here? Master, I don't remember hearing about that one. Here's another rose, and that has... no, I'll probably be using this one because it's got the flowers I want on all sides. Of course, there's the iris. Nope, I think this is the one I'm using. So I'm using a page from there. That'll be kind of fun. And I also have some old authentic postcards that are really old. And here's one of them with the pansies. This one I got because I just thought this was very Shakespearean Renaissance period time of look to it. And so I got this one. I believe this is, I don't see the date on there right off. But anyways, and this one too, with this looks like a Renaissance period shoe. I don't know, just really liked this. So I don't even, here, this one is 1902. So this is old too. So I am using some of these postcards in there. So far, that's what I have pulled out to put into here. Now, in the inspiration video, she does something very interesting that I really liked a lot, and that is the paper stuck out. They weren't all just all neatly on the inside. And that's why I kind of abandoned this here, because I felt like this one here just called for having a more traditional book, pages, just looked more like a book. And I don't know, it was just the formality of it, maybe. It was something like that. So what she did, and you know, you should look at it because it's a good video. I mean, she does a flip through what she created, but it's really great. She would take, like, let me see if I can find something here. Okay, say we were going to use, oh, no, that's not the one. Okay, let's say I'm going to use this here, one that fits inside. So I ain't going to demonstrate my situation here. Bear with me. All right, so I'm going to use this music paper. So I would then, let me see, where am I going to fold it at? Yeah, okay, I fold it in half. There we go, just like this. I would allow this paper to stick out. And other papers, you know, it may stick out, let's say it sticks out like this. I might fold and crinkle the edges a little bit to make it look like somebody kind of gathered a bunch of papers and just kind of stuffed them into here for keeping. All right, that's sort of like you're collecting things and you just keep stuffing them in there, right? And so if you do that, they're not always going to fit in neatly. Some are going to stick out, some are going to be small, some are going to be larger. That's sort of the feel that she had. So that's one thing I wanted to emulate with this. And that's why I think I changed up the cover. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do with this page, actually, is I'm just going to go ahead, and then not all the edges were neatly, neatly put in. Some of them were just, torn up like this, which is kind of cool. All right, so it's a little haphazard, like sort of a collection type of thing. And so I'm just going to work around, and I do have a ruler that will tear a straight line, but I kind of like doing it by hand sometime. Not all the time. I kind of like that look. So I'm taking off that part that didn't get printed. In retrospect, I probably should have enlarged the graphic and printed out. So we have this here. So that's going to be, now what I can do though is I can put it in and I'll just raise it up just slightly. All right, so this one can be raised up, and then I'll put in the second paper. Don't know if I want this off of the edge now that I've done this because it's very brittle. So I might have to do that a little differently. So let's take like this sheet here, and I'm going to cut it off like right along here, and then I will use that for another inset. So let's just put this in here like that maybe, and then what I can do is let this stick out, and then maybe fold back these edges a little bit, kind of like that idea. So here I refined it a little bit more to kind of give you a sense of where I want to go with this. And so some of it's going to hang out different places. I'm going to dog ear, distress the pages a little bit. That kind of gives you just a sense of where I'm going to go here. I think I'll probably have 2 signatures in here. Let's see what we can do with this paper. I like that it's big like this. So this was taken out, of course, out of a book, but lots of times when you lift it from a book and they're together, this has been weakened just a little bit. And you can even have 2 separate pieces and put them together with either a strip of washi tape or maybe just even a strip of paper to kind of gather them together to put down that middle, just to make it a little bit more secure to put inside your, when you go to sew it in. There we go. There we are. So now we've got this secured in there. So this will be the middle. I'll just do this here. And so this is pretty big for this book. And what I think I want to do is maybe I can fold in the pages. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up a pocket here on the inside. I think that would be really a good idea. Put a pocket here. And then maybe I can fold in a side here, something like that. And maybe make even a bigger fold here on this side. So you fold out and you have all that going on. Let's see how that'll work. Okay. And I'll put that inside. Like that. So some pages stick out and some don't. There we are. So we have a little bit of that graph paper there. A little bit of, I don't want them all to be the same shade, so that's something else I'm looking out for, is to kind of have different shades going on. That makes it a little bit more interesting. That's probably all I'm going to be doing for the papers at this time right now. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Of course, I've got this here, and what I'm afraid of is the brittleness of this music paper because it's so old. So I need to find something to do to help with that brittleness. Got some ideas. I'm going to wait until I get there to do that. Alrighty. Thanks so much for viewing. I am going to stop here with the page selection, and the next time we get together we will be working on the ephemera, or some of the ephemera that's going to be going in here. So I hope to see you real soon, and you have a great and crafty rest of your day. Bye!